Welcome to Grumpy Old Avatars with your hosts, Malvin Zerator, Deuce and Dragonash, and Slim Warrior.
Well, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good tomorrow, depending on wherever or whenever you are. This is the Grumpy Old Avatars, the show where we like to wind down at the end of the week, and we're coming to you live from Second Life, where the actual time is 3 p.m. I'm Mal Burns, and I'm be joined by my co-host, Deuce Dragonash, and Slim Warrior. So, yeah, let's say hi. Hi, Slimmy.
Hello.
You can welcome that, ladies and gentlemen. That is the softest voice you will hear out of Slimmy all night. That is guaranteed. And hello, Dooza.
Yeah.
All right. Don't want to say hi. You don't want to say hi.
Well, I just said yeah, didn't I?
Yeah.
What's wrong with yeah? It's an acknowledgement.
It's an acknowledgement. Oh, dear me, we are in the mood tonight, aren't we? Okay, folks. And we're also joined by a very special guest. His name is Bob Corrigible, and he is sort of the face of the stream team. He is a DJ in Second Life and a radio broadcaster. So welcome, Bob.
I acknowledge that.
Right. Well, yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I was practicing that, making sure I didn't get it wrong. Frequently do. Okay, well, I hope these introductions haven't totally set the tone for the evening. Anyway, we will no doubt be grumpy about various things tonight. Speaking for my own part, it's been very hard for the last few weeks to be grumpy about anything other than certain ISPs, but well, stressing about no end. But I'm not going to go there. I must say I've just spent 2 days attending virtually, of course, the Federal Consortium of Virtual Worlds event, and it was very good indeed in many ways, but I will no doubt be able to interject a few grumps about it later on. As well, the ladies hosting the thing said, said, if you call yourself a virtual world expert, isn't it about time you had an avatar? Which rather put a few of them in their place. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go across to Slimmy to introduce today's first subject. I think it's the best way to put it. So over to you, Slimmy.
Hello, Mal. Well, today's subject has got to be the worst grumpiness about the coming of the summer months, where, of course, we all delightedly rush outside in our shorts and our T-shirts, embracing the warm weather, and decide to have a barbecue. And then we start with the barbecue, which involves something called charcoal briquettes in our house. And charcoal briquettes don't bloody well light. It doesn't matter how many bottles of lighter fluid you use, which is very amusing for the children and losing your eyebrows. However, it does not appear to light charcoal briquettes anymore, so that you can have your lovely barbecue. And we only have a mini barbecue, because there's only me and the kids here. However, the other day, I lit the bloody thing and lit it again and again and again. And about 3 hours later, I decided to give up, because it was now like 9 p.m. in the evening, and went and actually barbecued in the oven in the kitchen. And when I went out later, just to make sure that, you know, the front door was shut, the barbecue was lit and ready to cook on. Damn. What is it about barbecues that are so frustrating? And I tell you, it made me so grumpy, because I promised the kids that we'd have a barbecue and it was going to be great, and of course it didn't happen. So now they think I'm a rubbish mother who doesn't know how to light a barbecue, and it's such a lie. And it was very expensive to buy all the lighter fluid as well. I don't know. It's just made me extremely grumpy.
It can be slow burning things, you know, you light them and come back a few hours later and they're ready for cooking or whatever.
Well, it's definitely so, like, plan your barbecue in advance. If I light it now, it'll be ready on Friday.
Well, don't forget,
you know, and it's only Monday afternoon.
There's only a certain time window too. You know, there's the briquettes that they will light up perfectly well, and then they only last for 15 minutes, and you're supposed to cook your food in 15 minutes.
Oh, on the packet. Oh, yeah, and that's even more of a lie, isn't it? Because when you buy these little brick things, it says ready in 4.5 minutes. And you're like, yeah, right. 4.5 minutes, but only in 3 weeks' time.
You can't light bricks. It's called
Well,
a briquette.
apparently, well, you're supposed to be. Well, it's false marketing then.
They should call them
Because
light
it doesn't work.
It's very, very dense.
I know, but I think it's a bit of a con, actually, because, you know, I quite like proper wood barbecues. I'm not into the gas grill thing, because I don't think that's a proper barbecue. And it does give a much nicer flavour to the food if you're doing it on charcoal and things like that. But it is very annoying because it's false marketing, because you buy the bag of charcoal bits, lumps, right, you know, things to light, and they don't work. But not only that, and particularly here in Denmark, you know, I spend a fortune buying the bloody things in the first place, but then you've got to also go and buy the lighter fluid because they won't light on their own. And I tell you what, after like 2 or 3 bottles of lighter fluid and they're still not burning, there is something seriously wrong, isn't there?
and all the carcinogens you get to eat after you cook your food on that.
Well, exactly. I mean, my carbon footprint is blooming ginormous now, just from a barbecue I tried to light.
I know it's Lisa Romano in the audience, so she just goes and gets a load of old wooden furniture.
But I did. I gave up. I went and cooked it in the oven. I said, I'm really sorry, kids, you know, but, you know, or you get the barbecue where the flames don't die down ever. So you actually, you know, burn everything so it's all black on the outside, but it's not cooked in the middle. And then you've got to cook it in the oven anyway. So sometimes what is the point of having a barbecue?
I think I'm rather grateful for the fact that I live somewhere where I can't have barbecues. I'm too high up and there's nowhere to do it.
I don't know, barbecue inside's a bit scary, but yeah, don't do this at home.
Nice, and of course, you know, now I'm hearing about the downside. How about you, Dizzo? You do outdoor barbecuing?
If you can do it in the microwave, I'll do it.
They'll invent that.
Ah, a woman after my own heart there.
I did actually set my microwave on fire, and since then, it has smelt a bit like barbecuing.
That's
But I suppose you could. Well, you could barbecue if you put. You can get these. I know in England you can get these flavoured wood chips that you put all over the barbecue briquettes that never light. You can put wood chips on. It's like whiskey, smoked whiskey flavour. But you could put those in the microwave, I suppose, couldn't you? Steamed wood chip flavoured fish fingers or something. I don't know what you could microwave.
Back on last week's fast food again. You know, I got all these things in packets that say barbecue flavour, whatever that is. Anything smoky, I suppose.
Do you barbecue, Bob?
I do barbecue when I can, but you know, they've got these regulations. Like, I guess that would be my little pet peeve about barbecues is you can't seem to light them, and I can't even have them because they don't even let me do it in my complex.
Oh,
So
really?
I can't have a barbecue.
What, even outside?
Even outside, no.
Why's
It's to
that?
do with the smell, isn't it?
I don't know
We've
what
been
it is.
told not to barbecue on our balconies because it inconveniences the neighbours, none of whom are there at the weekends.
Right.
Because
Tell
they're
them to
all
close their windows. Or
away.
better
Is
yet,
it
invite them
smelly?
down to your barbecue.
Yeah. Because there's a smell of burning meat. It'll be one person on the Tenants Association.
Wait a minute, it's the
you know.
smell of burning eyebrows, isn't it?
Yeah.
Be the meat.
Those who can't light their barbecues properly.
It'll be the me that's vegetarian complaining about the smell.
That's right.
Can you imagine the plates to the local council? I'd like to complain. And hair. Sorry, that was a bit grim, wasn't it?
I need a good barbecue. When I'm, you know, someone comes here, and I agree, I have to have a good barbecue. You know?
Why don't we have one right now?
Give me a big steak and slap it on the Barbie.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'd like one of those. I quite like those fancy grills when they have a rotisserie on. There's something about
God.
which always sounds very yummy, but when you actually do it yourself, it doesn't quite work out the same as if...
Well, how about this? What about having the whole animal on a rotisserie? Now, would you still eat it then?
Absolutely. Well, not all of it, but some of it, yes.
You know, I think maybe if you
I can't cope with
hog,
that. I see a steak going through its mouth and out its bum, and I've had it.
Oh, well, no, but no. If you go to a proper one, that there isn't actually a head and a tail thing on it. Well, depending on what you're eating, if it's a fish or something like that, and then it's done very quickly. But if it's a whole, like a spit roast pig or something like that, no, it's wonderful. But there's no head on it when you do it.
Yeah.
No, it's delicious. It really is.
I think I'll just stick to attending virtual barbecues, and I'll be saved from all this extrasensory input. But it's rather interesting. I showed a clip on our weekend show last week, which it was from the Japanese, but they did some research. They basically they had a cookie, just a cookie, you know, like a biscuit, as we call it in the UK, and they also had an augmented reality thing, which was also looked like a cookie. So,
oh yes, I saw that. That was amazing, wasn't it?
The funny thing was, when they looked at the augmented reality cookie, they were also fed smell-o-vision or something, and the researchers found that people were more attracted to the augmented reality cookie and its accompanying smells than they were to the real one, which was interesting.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Can you imagine doing a barbecue that way, an augmented reality smelling?
No, I call that messing with your food. It is. It's messing about with food. It's not. It's like processed sausages. Come on.
It was very bizarre, I must admit.
Very, very strange. But I mean, we've all laughed about things like smell-o-vision and said, you know, wait till that comes out. But you know, that augmented reality. Well, I mean, certainly the clip that you showed on Metaverse Week in Review sort of brought to the fact that it is such a possibility. It is happening. But I don't think you should mess with your food. I think it's very bad manners.
Yeah.
It's like not eating all the peas on your plate.
How long before we extract proteins and put them in our 3D printers and actually print out a 3D barbecue?
Well, I tell you what, it would be easier than lighting a bloody charcoal briquette, wouldn't it? Here, you know, just print out a picture of it and pretend.
Well, no, they're saying that, you know, because one of the main components of 3D printers is going to be sugar and natural resources from wherever in the planet these 3D printers will be operating. And they
well, I suppose if you're starving and you need a sugar rush, you just go and eat
they
machine.
can decompile you know, using raw ingredients, they can decompile and recreate just like they use them to do with a, you know, traditional printing press, and they can do it with, if they're doing it with edible materials, the product will be edible.
amazing.
Oh God, yeah, but that just brings terrible things to mind, doesn't it? You know, it's, I'm feeling a bit snackish. I think I'm going to eat this pile of paper I've just printed out.
Well, remember on paper, it's like
Eat your words.
It's like this, yeah.
Literally.
Well, I mean, it would be microwaving, wouldn't it? You would actually just go on screen and see a load of ingredients and think, well, I'll mix a slice of cheese with a thing there and a thing there, and I'll make up this thing, and then I command it to print, and then the 3D printer behaves like a cooker, and it just delivers you.
No, that's just wrong. Sorry.
Okay, Mal, I'm going to ask you a question, right? In science fiction, they've all got these replicator type things, not the replicators that go and eat spaceships, but the ones that you go up to it and say, you know, I'll have egg on toast, and it appears in the hatch, right? Yeah. But that is a recycling unit from waste products. So every time you're eating it, what are you thinking about? If you were up in one of those spaceships, you're thinking, I'm eating this egg and chips or whatever it is. What is it really?
I would not want to be thinking about what it is.